I thought my father abandoned us when I was 9. Yesterday, I found out why he really left. I've never posted anything personal online before, but what happened yesterday flipped my entire understanding of my life upside down, and I honestly don't know how to process it without writing it all out. Maybe someone out there needs to read this too. When I was 9 years old, my father walked out of our house with one small backpack and never came back. That's a memory that's been burned into my brain for almost 2 decades. It was a Tuesday. I remember that because Tuesdays were the days he used to bring samosas on his way back from work. That day, there were no samosas, just shouting. My parents were arguing in the kitchen, voices low at first, then sharp and angry. I was sitting on the floor doing homework, pretending not to listen. My younger sister was asleep in the bedroom. Then the front door slammed. I ran to the window in time to see my father walking away without turning back. No goodbye, no hug, nothing. That was it. My mother didn't chase him. She didn't cry in front of us either. She just locked the door, leaned against it for a second, and said, "From today, it's just us." Growing up, she never said anything good about him. She didn't have to. Society did that for her. Relatives whispered. Neighbors judged. Teachers gave me that look. The unspoken conclusion was always the same. Your father abandoned you, and I believed it. I grew up angry. Angry at him for leaving. Angry at my mother for being tired all the time. Angry at myself for needing things we couldn't afford. I watched my mom work herself into the ground, stitching clothes late into the night, skipping meals so my sister and I could eat properly. Every sacrifice she made sharpened my resentment toward the man who left us. By the time I was a teenager, I had decided something very clearly. I would never be like my father. I worked hard. I stayed focused. I promised myself that one day, I'd earn enough to make sure my mother never had to worry about money again. I told myself I didn't need a father. I told myself I was better off without one. Then life happened. College was tough, but I made it through. I got a job in another city. Slowly, things improved. I sent money home every month. My sister went to a good school. My mother smiled more often. The past felt like something I had finally outrun. Or so I thought. Last week, my mother collapsed at home. It wasn't dramatic. No movie-style moment. She just felt dizzy while making tea and sat down, unable to get back up. The doctor said it was exhaustion combined with years of untreated stress. She needed rest, proper care, and, most importantly, less responsibility. While cleaning her cupboard to organize medical files, I found something that made my hands freeze. An old brown envelope. My name was written on it, in my mother's handwriting. Inside were hospital reports, legal documents, and letters. Letters addressed to me, from my father, dated 15 years ago. I felt my heart pounding as I sat down on the floor, papers shaking in my hands. The first letter started simply, "If you're reading this, it means your mother finally decided to tell the truth." My entire body went cold. He wrote about the months before he left, about how he had been sick for a long time but kept it hidden because we couldn't afford treatment, about collapsing at work one day and being taken to a government hospital, about the diagnosis, late-stage kidney failure. He needed dialysis, long-term, expensive, time-consuming. He wrote that the doctor told him clearly, even with treatment, his chances weren't great. Without it, he had maybe a year. Then came the part that made it hard to breathe. He said he had 2 options: stay with his family and slowly drain every rupee we had, watching his children grow up in hospitals and debt, or leave, disappear, and let us hate him, but give us a chance at a better life. He chose the second. He sold what little assets he had left. He paid off some debts quietly. He made arrangements so my mother wouldn't be legally responsible for his medical expenses. And then he walked away, knowing he'd become the villain of our story. He wrote, "A father's job is to protect his children. Sometimes that means staying. Sometimes it means leaving." I don't remember when I started crying. I just know there were tears dripping onto those pages like I was trying to wash the years away. Another letter explained why he never contacted us again. His condition worsened faster than expected. He didn't want us to see him weak, sick, dependent. He didn't want to come back and reopen wounds when he had nothing to offer except pain. The last letter was dated 3 years after he left. It was shorter. "If I didn't make it, please tell my children I loved them more than my own life, and I'm sorry they had to grow up thinking otherwise." There was a death certificate attached. My father had died 12 years ago. I sat there for hours, replaying every memory I had twisted with anger. Every time I cursed him. Every time I said I didn't need him. Every achievement I dedicated to proving I was better than him. And suddenly, the truth hit me like a truck. Everything good in my life existed partly because of the worst decision he ever made. When I confronted my mother, she broke down for the first time in my life. She admitted she was angry at him too. Angry that he made the decision alone. Angry that he left her to explain the unexplainable to 2 children. She said she planned to tell me when I was older, but time kept passing, and the lie became easier than reopening the wound. She thought she was protecting us, just like he thought he was protecting us. 2 adults, loving their children so much that they both chose pain. That night, I went up to the terrace and looked at the city lights, wondering how many stories like this exist around us. How many people we judge without knowing the battles they fought quietly. I don't know what hurts more, losing a father, or realizing I had one all along and just never knew it. I can't apologize to him. I can't tell him I understand now. All I can do is live in a way that honors what he gave up for us. If you're reading this and holding on to anger towards someone who left your life, maybe pause. Maybe there's more to the story than you were told. And if you're a parent making an impossible choice right now, please know that one day, your children might finally understand. I just wish mine had come sooner.